Bonjour tout le monde.
Bonjour. Today we're here with Madame Lee to talk about pronoms COD and pronoms COI. So I'm going to start this by giving you some basics. Um, so a word has a nature and a function. Now, what is the difference? The nature of the word is kind of what you could call the identity of the word. The nature of the word un gâteau, for example, is a noun. What is it? What is its identity? It's a noun. That is the nature of the word. Now, a word has also a function in the sentence. It has a function, it has a use in the sentence, if you please. So, for example, un gâteau, its nature is a noun. Its function here in this sentence, je mange un gâteau, is an object. It's the object of the action manger. Okay. Now, what is a pronoun? A pronoun replaces a noun. So it's a grammatical word to help you guys avoid repeating something you have already said. So if I already talked about the cake and I don't want to repeat myself, I'm going to say je le mange, I eat it. Un gâteau and le are exactly the same thing. Now, we have to talk about COD and COI. The pronoun is the nature of the word le here. COD and COI are functions. Now, what does COD stands for? It stands for direct object complement. If we take back our example, je mange un gâteau, we said that the function of the word gâteau in the sentence is an object. Now, why do we say direct? Because there's nothing between the verb and the object. No preposition, no word, nothing. So it's direct. Now we also have COI, indirect object complement. Those, as you can guess, are indirect because you have something between the verb and the action and the object sign. Now that we know what all this is, we're going to give you guys examples. How, when I'm facing a sentence, do I spot if the word is a COD or a COI? In a sentence, a COD, a direct object complement, answer the question qui or quoi, who or what. If I take back my example, je mange un gâteau, je mange quoi? Un gâteau. I eat what? A cake. The cake, le gâteau, is COD, direct object complement. It answers the question quoi. Now for the COI, remember what we said? COI are indirect object complement. So there is a preposition between the verb and the object. Those prepositions are going to be either a or de. So to spot an COI in a sentence, you have to ask yourself this time not who or what, qui ou quoi, but à qui, à quoi, or de qui, de quoi. Let's start with the examples. If Madame Lee asks me,
est-ce que tu vois ton cousin et ton oncle et ta tante pendant les vacances?
if I want to avoid repeating myself by saying, yes, I see my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins during the vacation, I'm going to use a pronoun to replace all those nouns and say, yes, I'm seeing them during vacation. In French, oui, je les vois pendant les vacances. Les is the pronoun that replaces my aunt, my uncle, and my cousins in the sentence.
So this is the same as in English when we say, yes, I see them. But you probably have noticed that in French, instead of saying I see them, we say I them see. So Florent, does the les always go before the verb?
Yes, it always go before the verb. Your pronoun in the sentence always go between the subject and the verb. If we take another example, this time with the negative form.
Okay, I will ask Florent another question because we're still on vacation and traveling. So Florent, est-ce que tu achètes ton billet d'avion dans une agence de voyage?
To that, I would answer non. Je ne l'achète pas dans une agence de voyage. Now, what's going on here? Oh, we can't see. What's going on here? We used a pronoun to replace the noun as in the first example, but since we introduced the two particles of the negation in the sentence, the placement is going to be a little bit different. When you're facing a negative sentence, the pronoun will have to stick together with the verb.
So for me, I explain to my students that the pronoun and then the verb, they're a magical couple. They're in love so much that they don't want to be separated. So they are always together.
Yeah. Now, why do I have les in the first sentence, but L apostrophe in the second sentence? Remember, in the first sentence, the pronoun we're replacing a plural group of nouns. My aunt, my uncle, and my cousins. So since it's plural, I use the form of the pronoun les. Here in the second sentence, my pronoun replaces a singular noun. I don't buy my plane ticket, in trip agency. So since the noun that I replace is singular, I will have to use either le for masculine or
La for feminine, like Madame Li.
but here the verb that follows the pronoun starts with a vowel. Je ne l'achète pas. So I can get rid of the vowel in the pronoun. What else can we say?
I think we're good for now. I hope that's also clear for you guys. So let's do a very quick summary. Previously, Florent taught us with the two examples of how to use the pronoun COD, and we have the example les, which means they, them, sorry, and then le. In this case, it could either be la if it's a female, or le if it's male, where we use the third form, L apostrophe, if the following word, the verb starts with a vowel. Okay, so let's keep them in mind. We've got le, la, L apostrophe, and les. Okay, we're going to do a few more practice now. Okay, Florent, if you could turn it around. And yes, we got more questions here. So let's focus on the first two examples here. The first sentence, je prends l'avion. I take the flight. Okay, and now I have underlined l'avion here. We want to use one of the pronouns COD. Okay, so I'm going to put the four forms here. Le, la, L apostrophe, and les. Okay, if we want to replace the l'avion, we know that avion is masculine. So among the four, we're going to use le to replace l'avion. And remember, when we use the pronoun, we use it before the verb. So it goes as here, je le prends. And now because we have already used the le to replace l'avion, so we don't need l'avion anymore. So Florent, if you could help us to erase l'avion, we don't need it anymore.
Where's the eraser?
Yeah. The technical problem here.
Oh, over there.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, so we put it in the middle. Je le prends. Okay? And if you want to say, I don't take flights, I don't take it, remember the pronoun and the verb. Now they have met each other. They become a good couple. So we want them to stay with each other. And like how we normally change a sentence into the negative form, we put the verb in between ne and pas. So this is going to be the same. Je ne le prends pas will be how we use them. Okay, now let's see another example. So this time with the negative form, we have je n'aime pas la mer. Okay, we're going to replace la mer, and la mer is feminine. So le, la, L apostrophe, and les, we're going to pick la to replace. Another easy trick for you guys, because you already see la here, so it's straightforward. We keep the la there, but it's a different function. Okay, and now we can get rid of la mer because we already replaced them with la. Okay, now the problem is, where do we put la? Remember always the pronoun. The pronoun is going to fall in love with the verb, and the verb is right here, en. So these two go together, and like Florent just explained to you, when the following verb starts with a vowel, no matter whether you're using le or la, you have to change it into L apostrophe. Okay, so this time we're going to use len. Okay, and so the len goes right here. And now because they are a couple, the ne can be moved over here, and we put it back into this form. So je ne l'aime pas. Okay, so this is how we reviewed pronoun COD in the present tense, positive and negative form. Now we're going to make it more complicated. We're going to use the passé composé. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick review exercise to do. I want you to change these sentences into passé composé. Madame Lee is going to work with you together on the board, and we'll meet you in about 1 minute. Okay, now it's your time to change the sentence. Remember, the original sentence is Je prends l'avion, and je n'aime pas. What didn't I like? Je n'aime pas. Let's say je n'aime pas le chocolat. How's that? Oh, but I think it was a la. So, je n'aime pas la plage. How about je n'aime pas la plage?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so let's change them.
You want me to put the after complement back?
Yes.
Je prends l'avion.
So now we're doing the passé composé.
Je n'aime pas le
And you want to say, I didn't take the flight and I didn't like le chocolat. Maybe let's use, we can do both.
Okay. Oh, la plage, yeah. Sorry.
C'est parti. Okay, so remember passé composé. Now let's check your answer. So prendre is becoming pris. That's the verb participe passé. And aimer, it's simple. You change er into accent aigu. And both verbs are the avoir verb. So it goes with j'ai pris l'avion et je n'ai pas aimé le chocolat. Okay, now we still have the full forms here. La, back here. We have the L apostrophe. And I'm looking for the le. Oh, it's right here.
Oh.
Okay, okay. So previously we have already discussed l'avion, we use le to replace. So le, we'll put it here. Okay. And now because there's avoir and pris, where are we going to put le then? He's going to fall in love with which verb? Avoir ou prendre? Okay, so now I'm going to review the answer. Le is going to fall in love with avoir ou être. Actually, avoir. Okay, so you put it here, and Florent, now l'avion is gone. We could remove that. Okay, thank you. Okay, since the two are going to fall in love, we're going to take a look at the form again. So, le is followed by e, which starts with a vowel. So in that case, we have to change it into L apostrophe. Okay, L apostrophe. And since they two fall in love, we're going to, if you want to change them into the negative form, it goes to je ne l'ai pas pris. Okay, so we put le between ne and pas to form the negative form. Now let's see another example. Je n'ai pas aimé le chocolat. Let's go with chocolat first. So le chocolat is masculine. You see from the le here. So we're going to use le. And as you see again, because le is going to fall in love with avoir, they go together. And avoir always starts with a vowel. So you are going to use L apostrophe again. So they are again together. So it becomes je ne l'ai pas aimé. And because we have already used the le chocolat, so we don't need them anymore. Now let's take a look at la plage. Okay, we see a la there. So now we're going to use la to replace la plage. It still goes before avoir. And you see again, avoir starts with a vowel. So no matter whether it's le ou la in the passé composé, they become L apostrophe. So basically, it doesn't really matter. The first half of the sentence is still je ne l'ai pas aimé. But pay attention here, because now it's the la plage. And once we replace them with the pronoun, and the pronoun goes before the verb has to agree with the pronoun here. Okay, remember, although you write it as L apostrophe, it's still la plage. So you will have to add an E here. Okay, so that's the tricky part. That's why we created two questions. Okay, and now let's go on with another example of futur proche. So we have the sentence Je prends l'avion et je n'aime pas la plage. There are too many examples, so I'm just going to use one of them. How about still using la plage? I want you to say, I'm not going to like the beach. Okay, so you can write down your sentence by yourself, and we're going to check again later. Okay, I am not going to like the beach. See if you got it correct. Je ne vais pas aimer la plage. Okay, so we still have all the four forms here. We have already decided because la plage is feminine, so you are going to still use the same pronom COD, la, to replace la plage by saying I'm not going to like it. See, when you say in English, I am not going to like it, so the French stays the same. I am not going to like it. So instead of using like it, French we put it before like. So it goes like this. La aimer, and that's not done yet. You see again the verb starts with a vowel. So instead of using la, you change it into an apostrophe. Okay, so je ne vais pas l'aimer. That's how we form the sentence using pronom COD for the futur proche. Okay, so if you got all of them correct, then bravo. Okay, our last challenge is Florent can work with me. We're going to introduce the pronom COI. Okay, so Florent just explained to you how can we know if a complement is direct or indirect. Previously, we have seen all the examples with the direct, but when we look into these two sentences, we know they are indirect. Why is that?
So in those examples that we see, as Madame you just said, it was a direct object complement. Je ne vais pas aimer la plage. Remember the question that you have to ask to spot the COD or the COI in the sentence? To spot the COD, you have to ask qui ou quoi, what or who. Je ne vais pas aimer quoi? La plage. So la plage is a COD. Now, if we take the examples of COI, they are indirect, as I said at the beginning, because you have a preposition starting the object complement. And to spot them in a sentence, you have to ask yourself, à qui, à quoi, de qui, de quoi. If we take the first example, il achète une robe à sa mère. Il achète une robe à qui? À sa mère. So, the function of the word mère in the sentence is COI, indirect object complement. Now, when you have to use pronoun to replace COI, the rules change a little bit compared to COD, because the form of the pronoun is going to change. So, for example, if I want to say, not he buys a dress to his mother, but he buys a dress to her. En français, not il achète une robe à sa mère, but il...
Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. Il lui achète une robe. And then I can get rid of this.
So you will see, compared to what I explained to you, we didn't change the order of the words. The pronoun, whether it's COD or COE, it always goes before the verb. And remember, this couple is still going to stay together always as a couple. So when you form it into the negative form, you would put them between ne and fa.
So if you turn this affirmative sentence into a negative one, il ne l'achète,
Lui.
il ne lui achète pas. You still have the couple between the pronoun and the verb. And the two particles of the negation surround them. Let's take another example. Nous posons des questions au professeur. We ask questions to the teacher, to the professor.
And how about we ask questions to all the professors just to make it fair? So in that case, we can change it probably into au professeur pluriel to offer a different example.
Remember, guys, you have that preposition à because it's a COI, à qui, à quoi, but professor is masculine here, and you can't say aller. So to say aller, there's a contraction that makes o. Like this when it's singular, with an X when it's plural.
And now because we have more than one professor, so we cannot use lui anymore. We have a different form, which is leur. Okay, remember we have leur before. Leur before, for example, leur voiture means their car. But here the leur takes a different meaning. It means to them.
So if I want to erase this noun and replace it by the COI pronoun in its plural form, remember, still a couple. So I'm going to add it next to my verb just after the subject of the sentence. So your sentence will be nous leur posons des questions. We ask them questions.
Okay,
Alright?
quite simple, isn't it? So we just need to know when to use COD and when to use COE, depending on whether there's an a in the sentence or not at this stage. We just want to make it simple for now. If there is a, then your only two options for now will be lui, if it's one person, or leur, if it's more than one person. If you don't see the a in a sentence, then that's the pronom direct pronouns. Then we got a few more forms. Le, la, l'apostrophe, and les, depending on whether they are masculine, feminine, or if it's followed by a vowel, or if it's plural. Okay, so as simple as that. And in terms of where to place them, remember they are going to fall in love with each other. So the pronoun always goes before the verb. And to form the negative form, they always stay with each other. Okay, so for further practice, we're going to send you some handout and post on the D2L. You can practice and check the answers by yourselves. Hopefully that works for you. And thank you so much for Florent for taking this time. So now, let's see, it's Friday afternoon at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for taking the time to work with us.
Yeah,
so hopefully this video will help you guys, and email us if you have any questions. Good luck with your test next Wednesday. Okay, bon weekend.
Good luck, guys.
Bye-bye.